Okay, so good morning, everyone. This is Michelle Cushman with the Department of Commerce. This webinar is on the Broadband for Montana Schools program. It's an overview and processes. We appreciate your participation today. We will have some Q&A moments at the end of the webinar. You can do that by phone or through the chat function. So the Broadband for Montana Schools program was authorized by House Bill 390 in May of 2017 when that was signed into law. This bill established funds for a state match to leverage the Federal Communications Commission E-rate program funds. For those that you are not familiar with the E-rate program funds, that is administered by the Universal Services Administration Company, more commonly known as USAC. The program supports increased access to affordable, high-speed internet in every classroom. Any K-12 public school, district, or consortium that applies to the E-rate program can potentially access state broadband funds. As we mentioned, eligible applicants are any Montana K-12 public school, district, or consortium. Those public schools or districts can submit a single application for each school or one application for multiple schools. The applicants are prioritized based on level of poverty, current bandwidth per student, and cost of megabytes per second per month. That prioritized list is posted and regularly updated on the Department of Commerce website. For the purposes of the FCC E-rate program, special construction charges are the upfront non-recurring cost of deploying new fiber or upgraded facilities to E-rate eligible entities. Category 1 services are broadband connectivity and conduit access to the internet. The FCC E-rate program provides a 20 to a 90% discount for those eligible services. State broadband funds can match up to an additional 10% discount. So we're going to talk a little bit about the E-rate program process for those that you are not familiar with it. The first part is to file a Form 470 with USAC, which opens that competitive bidding process. The competitive bidding process must be open for 28 days. Once you are successful in receiving bids and evaluate them and select a provider, then you would file a Form 471 within the funding year application filing window. Then your application will go through a PIA, which is Program Integrity Assurance Review by USAC. And then USAC will issue a funding commitment decision letter, and your project activities can begin. Applications to the state broadband program can be submitted at any time, usually after your 470 process is completed. And so this is no matter where you're at in submitting a 471 or where you're at in the PIA review process. You can send us a completed Broadband for Montana Schools application. There is a resolution to submit the application, a preliminary project budget, and an implementation schedule. Applications to the state broadband program are accepted ongoing and continuously through May 1st, 2019. So how does the school apply? We have application packets that are available at our website. The link is on our screen right here. It's programs/broadband. You can also reach out to us. Our phone number will be at the end of this webinar if you need us to mail you a copy of that application packet. Applications can be submitted to Commerce through email at docbroadband@mt.gov or by mail 301 South Park, Helena, Montana 59620. How does the process work for us? So once we receive your application, we review it, we prioritize it, and you will receive a letter of approval for completing the broadband application. Awards of the broadband funds are contingent upon you receiving a funding commitment decision letter from USAC. Once you have that letter, there are two other pieces that we will need before we can enter into a contract with you, the school, or the district, or the consortium, and that is a copy of the service provider agreement, as well as the environmental assessment process. And those instructions and a checklist of that process is in our Broadband for Montana Schools Program Administration Manual. So we will speak more to that when you are a successful applicant to the program. Some of the partners that we have assisting us with this Broadband for Montana Schools program are E-rate consultants. We have procured 7 E-rate consultants to assist schools, districts, or consortiums with a successful application to the E-rate program by the FCC and to the Broadband for Montana Schools program. It is not required that a school or district engage in the services of an E-rate consultant to submit an application. However, each of these consultants are dedicated to helping school and district leaders with the application process. The cost of consulting services up to $5,000 per school or district will be paid for by the Department of Commerce if you are utilizing the services of one of our 7 E-rate consultants. A list of those consultants is available online on our website. Another program partner is Education Superhighway. Education Superhighway is a nonprofit focused on upgrading the internet access in public school classrooms and providing support to schools. They have several useful tools on their website. It's a good place to start. Compare and Connect K through 12 will give you an idea of where your school is at and what are some options for your school to the E-rate program. Some important dates to keep in mind. August 1st of 2017, the Broadband for Montana Schools application window opened. Ongoing, we review, approve, and award Broadband for Montana Schools funds to applicants. On May 1st of 2019, our application window closes. That is the last date that we will be able to accept applications for the Broadband for Montana Schools funds. And June 30th of 2022 is the last day that any school, district, or consortium will be able to request funds from the Broadband for Montana Schools program. Of course, you will be in contract with us by then, but that would be the last date that we can request or process any request for funds. So if you have some questions about the program in general, about the federal communications E-rate program, Broadband for Montana Schools program, you can certainly call us at 406-841-2770. You can speak specifically to your consultant. Education Superhighway is a super useful resource. And you can also send us an email at docbroadband@mt.gov.